Greta Van Susteren joins the MSNBC family.
Let's get right to the news.
For the Record with Greta. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on MSNBC.
Will your business be ready when growth presents itself? American Express Open Cards can help you take on a new job. Or fill a big order. Or expand your office and take on whatever comes next. Find out how American Express cards and services can help prepare you for growth at open.com.
You get used to sweaty odors in your car. You think it smells fine, but your passengers smell this. Eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to for up to 30 days with the Febreze car vent clip. Break out the Febreze and breathe happy.
How can you make your house the center of the neighborhood? First, mix liquid gold Velveeta with the 1-2 cake of Rotel's diced tomatoes and spicy green chilies. Then, find space for extra parking. Lots and lots of parking.
I had the most incredible dream. We were greeted by princesses and swashbuckling pirates. We escaped to our own island. And we could fly. We met all kinds of wonderful characters. And were guests at a royal banquet. And the best part? It wasn't a dream at all.
When you dream of the perfect vacation for the whole family, the difference is Disney.
Hi, I'm Steve Perillo, Perillo Tours. And for years, you've heard me talk about my family and our amazing Italy vacations. Well, now let's hear from our extended Perillo family. George, how was it for you?
It was great. It was effortless. Perillo made things easy, informative, impossible not to have a good time.
And how was your trip?
I met amazing people on this trip, and we all stayed in touch.
I really enjoyed Sorrento because of the hotel that we stayed in. Everything was taken care of from the minute I got off the plane. They took care of my luggage. They sent me to these amazing rooms.
I wanted to see everything. I love Naples. I love Rome.
Venice, Capri.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
The Vatican is a lot larger than it looks like on television.
Thanks for joining us in Italy Perillo style.
Salute! Call now for your free brochure and insider's guide. Call in the next 30 minutes and get this free $100 gift card. Call 800-224-6104. 800-224-6104.
We want to get back now to this week's big news. President Trump's executive order on immigration. Not lost in this national debate is the effect that it's having overseas, especially with people trying to come to the United States. My colleague Richard Engel is in Erbil, Iraq. And Richard, I understand you spoke with an Iraqi family who were turned down or had to change their travel plans.
They were turned down, and they were very upset. And this is not just upending lives, or it is not just disrupting people. It is changing their lives. This family we just spent time with, he was a translator for the U.S. government during the Iraq War, and he went through 2.5 years of vetting, multiple interviews, fingerprints, medical checks, background checks. His whole family flew to Baghdad for a meeting at the U.S. Embassy. All this, by the way, after having worked as a translator for the U.S. military. He finally got the visa approved, and then this weekend they were traveling to JFK. They had a stopover in Cairo, and then as they were boarding the plane, or about to board the plane with their boarding passes in hand, they could see the plane. They said they could go no further. They were detained at the airport for about 24 hours and then deported back here. And they're outraged. They also have basically torn their lives apart because they thought they were going to move. So they sold their house. Both of them quit the jobs. The older son, there were 3 children, had actually dropped out of school. He had delayed going to college so that he could study for the SATs. The younger daughter, if she now has to stay back here, she'd miss a year in school as well. So once you have these plans in motion, and it's taken you 2.5 years to change your life, and you've sold your house and your possessions and quit your job, and then suddenly someone at an airport, when you're looking at the plane and you're holding the border pass, says, no, you're being deported because there's been an executive order. It is a very tough pill to swallow, frankly.
Yeah, and it's going to cause a lot of political reaction and policy reaction as well. Richard, thank you so much. Great to see you late in the evening in Iraq. Let's jump over now to the UK. As of right now, over 1.4 million people have signed a petition there to ban the president from making a formal state visit to the UK because it would, quote, cause embarrassment to Her Majesty the Queen. NBC's Matt Bradley joins me now live from London with that piece of the international reaction. Matt?
That's right, Kate. Actually, so the deal is in Parliament, if you get a certain number of digital signatures for any of these petitions, then Parliament is actually obliged to take up your petition, and that's just what happened here. They actually got 1.5, as you said, nearly 1.5 million digital signatures, which is several times more than the amount they needed to actually get Parliament to look at their petition. And that's exactly what happened. Tonight, we heard that there was an emergency meeting, and Parliament is taking up this petition and considering whether or not to disinvite Donald Trump from a state visit to here in London. Now, the natural outgrowth of this petition is the march that's just kind of winding up behind me. You can see people are leaving, and we heard from police that there were as many as 25,000 people who showed up here right outside 10 Downing Street, which is, of course, the official residence of Theresa May, the Prime Minister of Britain. Now, why 10 Downing Street for an anti-Trump protest? Well, the fact is that a lot of the anger here was aimed not at Trump, but at Theresa May herself. And that's because a lot of these demonstrators say that Theresa May isn't showing enough backbone, isn't standing up to Donald Trump and telling him that they really don't approve of his immigration restrictions that were just announced in the past couple of days. And so many people here were disappointed that Theresa May was the first global leader to actually meet with Donald Trump in person after he was inaugurated. And she was pilloried in the media, seen walking with Donald Trump hand in hand in front of the White House. A lot of embarrassment going around. But it's not just online activists and it's not just liberals who are dismayed with Theresa May. Look at Nadeem, a gentleman who is a member of Parliament from Theresa May's own Conservative Party. He actually is from Iraq. He was born there, and he's going to be coming under this new travel restriction announced by Donald Trump. Take a listen to this piece of sound.
I've been informed that the ban will apply to myself and my wife because the order says aliens from those countries, so country of origin applies. I've got two sons at Princeton University. They were due to be here tomorrow because they've got a short break. Now, they're born and bred in the UK, but if they get asked where your parents are originally from, or your grandparents, then there is a risk of them being stopped going back to university next Sunday. And that's a 90-day or 120-day risk. They'll miss a whole semester at Princeton. So it's a pretty sad day, really.
So that was Member of Parliament Nadeem Zahawi, and again, not some liberal